on Woman 360, Law Association President Linda Kasonde takes us through her journey to becoming the top person of the Association of Zambia. She also comments on how the media portray women in the public eye. I also get into studio with Mag44, who tells us what he finds bizarre when it comes to the female fashion. And we also get to find out more about Nyemba through her 3 favorite places. Hello, welcome to the show. I am Judy Ngulube. I hope everybody out there is all right and is having a fantastic weekend. We already know what's coming up on the show. So my very first guest, she came on the scene when most Zambian people wanted the constitution to be explained in layman's language. And of course, we've seen her in the media talking about the Law Association of Zambia. She is the very first female president of the Law Association of Zambia. And of course, we get to know her better as she takes us through her journey of becoming the Law Association of Zambia president. But most importantly, she also comments on how she feels about how the media portray women who are in the public eye. Let's meet Linda Kasonde.
Linda Kasonde is a lawyer who believes that an individual can change the world.
Tell us about your journey to become the Law Association president.
Well, at the beginning, it just started off as an interest in terms of I was interested in the objectives of the association, and so I participated in the committees at different levels. From being an ordinary committee member to being a convener of one of the committees. But in terms of my leadership journey, I gradually came to an appreciation of the fact that I had something to contribute. And so I would say over the last 7 years, I've made a deliberate effort to build my way up in terms of the leadership ladder in LAS. So it has definitely been a journey that I've pursued deliberately.
Okay. What's your view when it comes to the Zambian woman and leadership?
I think we've got some excellent female leaders in the country. I think that the problem we have is they're not enough. It may seem like there are many of them out there, but if you did a survey statistically, I'm sure that our numbers are similar to those in Parliament. And Parliament has, I think, less than 20% representation of women, which I think is very unfortunate because women have a lot to contribute. They have different perspectives to those of men that they can bring to the table that I think is sometimes lacking. I don't think it's a question of a lack of ability or capacity. I think, particularly in politics, the issue is that one, some women don't like the fact that politics can get a bit rough. Women in the public eye are often insulted, and now there's actually physical threats in terms of the political violence that we see. We saw that example of the lady who was stripped for wearing a particular party regalia. But aside from that, there's the issue of the cost of campaigning. You need money to run a campaign, and many women don't have access to the kind of finances that are required. And often, because of the way women are socialized, some women aren't taken as seriously as their male counterparts. So these are all obstacles that women have to overcome in order to reach leadership positions at any level. Okay. It's varied, but what we do see in relation to women that we don't often see in relation to men is that women are often objectified, particularly sexually, and often issues are personalized when really what they're trying to put across is something factual, something substantive that should be analyzed on the merit of what the person is saying, as opposed to maybe what they're wearing or how they look. Are they pretty? Are they not? These are things that nobody talks about in terms of men, but become issues for women. I think it's probably because generally people aren't used to seeing women in leadership positions. And so they fall back on how they're used to seeing women, which is as is she nicely dressed? Does she speak well? Is she well mannered? Things that people are socialized, women are socialized to be, as opposed to is this person intelligent? Are they putting forward good issues? Are they worth listening to? Are they action oriented? Are they result oriented? All those things kind of fade into the background a lot when it comes to women. The one thing I'd say is that it's important to not let those things get to you. I think the reason why women are treated in that way is because there's so few of them out there. And there's few of them out there because, as I mentioned, there are those three obstacles in terms of whether it's cost, financing, or whether it's afraid of being insulted in the public eye. The more women that come to the forefront and become leaders, the less people will see those other issues, because now it will be about what is this person bringing to the table, not that it's a woman, because there'll be many other women and those things will seem trivial, but we haven't reached that stage. And I think on a universal level, when I look at, for example, Hillary Clinton's campaign and some of the issues that she's been faced with, I see we have the same issues here in Africa and in Zambia. So I think it's really just a universal problem. Well, I think often it's comfortable to consider a woman to be a mother figure, or if they feel she's ill-mannered in some way, then she'll be slandered in that respect. So, as I mentioned, it's really the fact that people aren't used to seeing women in leadership, and maybe they don't know quite how to treat them. So that's really, yeah. So I really would urge more women to come forward, because the more of us that there are out there, the less these problems will be there. I think we have many examples of women who are in command of their own brand. For example, I'll give Mianda Maimbo, now Kachiwa, as an example of somebody who's very confident in herself and who sells herself very well. And we have many such examples in the corporate world, even in the political sphere. So they're out there, but it's not the norm. It's difficult to say. I think it's just that I think what's important is that women shouldn't be afraid to come to the forefront. Yes, people will insult you or whatever, but as the saying goes, no one can make you feel inferior without your permission. So all those things really shouldn't matter. If what you're saying makes sense, if what you're doing is contributing to society, then all those things should be insignificant. And eventually, if you're consistent in delivering on results, people will see that, and the other things will pale in comparison to the insults or other things that people level at you. Maybe just that because there's so few women who are public figures, etc., unfortunately the world is not fair, and they demand a higher standard of you than they would a man. So for a lot of women out there who are leaders, it's so important to be as good an example as you can possibly be. I just was going through my Twitter account, and recently Hillary Clinton was won the nomination to the Democratic Party for elections, and one of my Twitter friends tweeted, "Oh, my 11-year-old is so happy for Hillary Clinton. Don't underestimate the importance of role models." So for her, seeing Hillary Clinton make that achievement has been so important for her daughter, who now can see something else to achieve, something different that can be attained if only you're consistent, if you're deliberate, and if you're hardworking. Thank you.
All right, so that was Linda Kasonde. She is the Law Association of Zambia president. We move on with the program. This time we get into getting the men into the program. Just because it says Woman 360, it does not mean the men are excluded. So this time we talk to Mag 44, who is Magnus Mando. He tells us what he can whip up in the kitchen. That's we thought was going to be a challenge, but he surprised us by saying he can make a very nice sandwich, or is it a burger? He's going to tell you himself. And then we also talk about fashion in terms of women. What does he think is most bizarre on his own, just according to his opinion? So let's just go and meet Mag 44 as he tells us what he can whip up in the kitchen, as well as what he finds bizarre when it comes to women's fashion.
I mean, first of all, I completely suck at cooking. I used to think I was good until I met my wife. My wife is just she's like the best cook in the world. She knows how to put things together. But for me, so out of like, let's say, I think the things that I can definitely cook well are like sandwiches. We do breakfast a lot. So like me and my wife, maybe we try as hard as possible to have the weekend to ourselves. And but of course, shows and things like that, so sometimes that comes in the way. But we make sure, okay, we have a proper breakfast. We prepare. Sometimes she prepares it, sometimes I prepare. But I would say the thing that I do the most is burgers. I love burgers. I think I'm really good at that. I don't think you can mess it up. You can't make a work. You can't make a useless burger.
Maybe there's a special Mag 44 way. Tell us,
yes,
just really quickly how you put it together.
How I put it together. Okay, so what I do is I get the burger patties, and then I fry them in butter. So butter, it helps keep the juiciness. I used to do it with cooking oil, and then it would be hard. So yeah, with butter. And then what would be, sometimes I'll try and squeeze it, because you sort of have the soury, salty taste from the burger patty, from the tomato, from the cheese. So sometimes I'll try and just add a slice of pineapple in there, just so that it's a bit sweet also. Although I think I've done that. I haven't done that often, but that's sometimes you just need to sort of give it a bit of a so that it's like it's a what can I call it? Like it has both taste, sweet and sour, exactly. So what I like to do also is because I want the burger to be really big, because I'm a big guy. I need a big burger, so I do layers of that. So cheese, beef patty, another layer of cheese, another beef patty, tomato, onion, lettuce. Lettuce is just there to pause, like it's healthy, but really there's nothing it does.
Let's go to
and then we even add egg on it, baked beans, just make that burger look like it's a building.
That's a huge burger.
Yes.
Let's go to the women now.
Throughout my life, the weirdest thing has always been high heels. It just does not, up to now.
Why? What spooks you about high heels?
Because it's like you are wearing a high heel. Why? Are you trying to climb somewhere? I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't understand it. Because it's first of all, I've grown up around women, so you find they wear these heels. When they come back, that's the first thing they want to take off. It was paining. I'm like, but then why did you wear it? Why?
Okay.
So it's always been. I've felt one. I don't know.
All right, now let's get into something to get to know our female personalities a whole lot better. Let's talk to Nyamba. She is a musician who has a beautiful voice. Not only is her voice beautiful, but she is also very, very beautiful. Let's talk to her about her 3 favorite places as they will reveal something you didn't know about her. So let's talk to Nyamba.
Like a gun for me face, yeah. They gon' talk like so. Bring me down. Bazakamba bazale mamogaze ne montu ofuta. Ne montu olimba. Ayene kela como pasa ule mona chico. Jeneshe kwa zila.
Hi, Zambia. My name is Nyamba, and my favorite places. I'm not really an outgoing person. When I'm out, mostly I am working, that's doing music or presenting something that has to do with my breakfast show. But I think so far the places that I've gone to that have really kept huge memories, happy memories are, I remember one time I went to Zimbabwe and there's this place called Pablo's. The place is awesome. It's like really cool. It's really nice. It's VIP. Even if you're not VIP, they treat you like VIP, and the place looks just VIP. So I think Pablo's in Zimbabwe is one of my favorite places. And in Zambia, because I like to sing and my friends like to think that they can sing like me, so we normally, when we want to have a good meal or have a good drink, we go to Dolphins. That's in North Mid. So, and what would my third place? I like go-karting with my kids. So if I am not out with my friends, normally any other time that I'm out doing something outside is go-karting, racing with my kids. So yeah, those are my favorite places. I hope they define my favorite places to go to. So that's what I practically do.
Ladies, put your hands up one time for your babies. Never give up on your dream or your passion. Never back down on what you believe in. When you see they patali way. Muzuba will see come on pepa na mambula.
All right, so that was Nyamba. She actually wraps up our program for today. And talking about feedback, thank you so much to everybody who's been giving us a lot of positivity through our Facebook page. Please go there and have a look at what we have next week. So on behalf of the entire Woman 360 crew, I'm Judy Ngulube. Thank you so much.
I cook, clean, and maintain the home. But why can't he stay home? How can I deal with my boss who can't understand that I am both a career woman and a mother? How can I be ambitious and be a 21st century woman but still maintain my status as an African woman? I will do my part and everything will fall in place. I am beautiful, makeup is just to enhance me. With time management, I can grow my career, be a good mother, and